Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chants, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame.
As you can see, I'm losing my voice, but I think I'll be all right. But once again, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another match, preview show, pre-game show, build-up show, whatever you want to call it. But more importantly, welcome to the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're all doing well. Thank you once again. We're getting closer and closer to 28,000 subscribers. Currently, we are 27,980 subscribers. Just 20 more subscribers to get to 28,000 subscribers. So I'm going to say hello to all of you so we can start talking about a few news items we have lined up until we get the lineup. Until the lineup comes out, then we take our time to dissect and analyze Enzo Maresca's selection and debate whether we'd be better off having certain players start in certain positions. But more importantly, I do hope you're all doing well. Sorry about how my voice sounds, recovering from a cold. But I'm just happy that I'm getting better. Jackson to Bayern, here we go. We have Coach Palmer here, that's AKA Nehemiah Fowler. He says, why didn't you put an obligation for a permanent purchase? Here's the thing. We are kind of desperate, whether you think we're not. There weren't too many clubs interested in signing Nicholas Jackson. Maybe because of our valuation of the player, I don't know. But here's the thing. Only a few were serious. Only one I know, Bayern, they were the only one that have been serious about signing him. And the fact it was there's no an obligation, £15 million loan fee, euros loan fee is a lot. So, and they're going to cover his salary full time. So, for us, that economically, it does make sense. And if, in fact, they decide they don't want to keep him on a permanent, I think he's good enough to still be a Chelsea player. It's really that simple. I get it. He's not been perfect. And if we're being truthful to ourselves, since he joins Chelsea, The only thing he didn't do well is be efficient in front of goal and be efficient in front of goal consistently. But beyond that, tracking back, contributing defensively, yeah, he did all those things really well, creating chances for his teammates too. And I've told people this several times. If it makes you happy, take a step back. Just remember that he broke. Was it he broke Didier Drogba's record in his first season as a Chelsea player, if that helps. Yeah, he wasn't perfect, but we didn't push him out. He wanted to leave. Didn't want the competition. That's how I see it. You have every right to interpret it the way you deem fit. But that's by the way, Kopama, aka the Maya Fowler, and I have to be. Ooh, even though I said I'm not gonna shout out people this morning, but I'll do my best. Tobago, thank you so much for joining me on the panel. I appreciate you. I do hope you're doing well. And if you did schedule a show, do let me know so that we can redirect people to your show once we stop the pregame show. Up the Chels. Yeah, thank you. More likes, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes that do go a long way. We have 56 people following the show on YouTube and just 3 likes. I think we can do a lot better than that. If half of you like the video, would have 25 plus likes. But I understand the issue is that a lot of people don't know how to find the like button because it's a vertical stream, especially if they are in a smaller device. Just press and hold your screen for just about a second. In most cases, you'd see it actually to the right. Help us drop a like on the video, and if you happen to see the hype button, please tap on it. It helps us garner more hype points, which will help the channel grow. YouTube, they introduced that to help up and coming content creators like us. We're not a big account yet, so we need your help with the like, with the hype button. If you see it, please hype it, even if it's on one of our YouTube shorts, or maybe what's it called, or maybe a replay of our live videos. Please do that for us. We'd really appreciate that. So 7 likes, we can do a lot better than that. So what do we have here? Just saying hello. I need a win today. You think I need a hate? I need a loss? Rain. Nice to see you, Rain. I do hope you're doing well. Don't make it rain. I don't have my umbrella. Okay. And Cole Palmer, this is the only deal we can get at the moment. But overall, I am happy with the fee. It's a good fee. And if it comes back, fine by me. I think he'd come back motivated because there wouldn't be many options at the time. The only option he'd have would be Chelsea. If they decide they're not going to sign him on a permanent, then he'd come back and fight for his place. Yeah. Rain says, I am absolutely happy with Bonete, whatever his name is. Just watch his comps. He is decent. I think he's good and can only get better. And why do you think Brighton refused to sell him on a permanent? Because they know how good he can become. You never fancied Simmons. I liked him, but it's not the end of the world. And I think we didn't make an official bid for a reason. It's really as simple as that. The moment I realized we did not actually make an official bid, I was like, okay, we weren't actually fully in. We had one leg in the deal and one out, probably because we had other plans. And I'd say I don't think again, I don't think the issue is finances. No, I don't think so. But that's a small opinion. So I'm not saying definitely it, but I don't think it is, in my opinion. But let's see what happens. Rain, once again, thank you for joining. Come on, coach. I'm here, bro. I'm here. Hit the like button, people. 7 likes. You can do a lot better than that. Likes, and likes. Now you're speaking my language, Rain. Maybe we sign a defender out of nowhere. It's a possibility. Again, in the transfer window, the truth remains 3 hours is like 30 years. You can get a lot done. Yeah. Yep. Hit the like button, people. Wendy, thank you so much, and I appreciate you reposting the stream. And remember, guys, we will have a post-game show. All of you, everyone that have since been added to our transit group gets a chance to be on the panel today if you're ready. If you're on camera, better. The better the chance. And there'll be an incentive for those of you Yeah, who will make it to the main panelist group. Some incentive just to encourage you. Big up IB, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. And Rain says, whenever our fans fancy a player, he becomes a flop. So I'm happy we didn't get Simmons. Yeah, that's the truth. And the case is the opposite. When we don't fancy a player, usually that player succeeds at Chelsea. Yeah, that's
Nah, 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 nah.
in most cases. You want an example? We were hyped about Bakayoko. We were hyped about
No,
Timo.
no, it's not. No, no. The Chevy Simmons is not. It's not about the hype, coach.
But I know he's good. But even at that, those players we hyped, they were good before they joined Chelsea. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not the most superstitious person you'd meet, but I can tell you that's a pattern that suggests that's the case. That's what the other pattern being when we pay a lot about the striker, they usually don't do well. But go ahead, say what you were saying. I'm listening.
No, the only reason why we didn't sign Chevy Simmons is because we had to choose between signing Chevy Simmons or Ganacho because of the UEFA financial rules.
You
So
think it
that
had
means,
to be between one of them?
what? Yeah, we had to be one of
It
them
was
because
okay. It was between one of them. Wow.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, it was because of one of them. Remember now, UEFA just checking Chelsea's books, make sure that we are not making something silly there. And also another thing, if the funders guilty, they're going to ban us for 3 years in the Champions League. So we didn't take that risk. That's why maybe Tottenham Hotspur saw an opportunity and make sure that they get Xavi Simons ahead of us, which worked very well for them. They took an opportunity and they won the case. So I think this is the reason why. And also we got Bananote for a loan because of we just want numbers. We don't have to, we don't want to overuse players. So for me, as much as I like Bananote, I think we should have at least maybe tried one of our academy players. I'm not saying it's always the case, but again, a low spot, man, for a player in the Premier League, nah, man. But again, I want to hate the player. I think the player is so good, but again, let's see what happened. I think the reason why Spurs took Xavi Simons is because they saw an opportunity and they took it.
I think they did. Remember, they tried before. He said no. So by the time they returned for a second try, he probably was a bit concerned. And before then, the news about our interest in what's his name in Famin Lopez had already been out. So those are factors that I believe probably Tottenham saw and was like, okay, this is our opportunity. Let's go give it a try again. So they tried again, and the player at the time you could argue had already given up and wanted other options and wouldn't want to risk going back to Leipzig after removing everything about them from his Instagram account. But that's, by the way, it is enough for us. As I did say that immediately because I understand we didn't just you can say forfeit our pursuit of Xavi Simons for just for no reason. And my only problem is that we'll never know what really happened, what led to us deciding, you know what, we're done. But yeah, it is what it is. We move on, and I'm not concerned. I think even if we don't sign another attacking player, it would be fine. But if we sign, it would be better. It's really that simple. That's my opinion, anyway. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes and assume the likes do go a long way. 8 likes, we can do a lot better than that. I don't know why we'd have 73 people following the show on YouTube when we have just 3 likes. If it was in landscape mode, I think we have a lot more like, but yeah, people will get used to it over time. I hope so. Yeah, big up to you too, Mark and Noom. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Yeah, I can't complain. I can't complain, Shay Wendy. I do hope you're doing well too, and thank you for joining. Jackson goes finally, but not on a permanent. Chances are he comes back. If Bayern don't buy him on a permanent purchase, he comes back to Chelsea. It's really that simple. Yeah, I am in full okay, in full Tobeho mode today. Terrible move by us. The lab is not that good. That's your opinion, and it's too early to say. Yeah, he's not going to do well at Chelsea. I think he will do well. And good thing is, yeah, if he doesn't pick up on time, we have other players that are capable of fulfilling his role. Yeah, but let's see what happens. Let's see, Albert. Thank you for reposting the stream on X. I appreciate you. In total, we do have 251 people, 231 people following the show. 80 of them on YouTube. The rest are shared between X and Facebook, whether equally I do not know. But here's the thing though, if you're following the show on X or on Facebook, please take a second, drop a like on the video, follow our X account or our Facebook account, and thank you for 6,000 followers on X. I sincerely do appreciate you, but you can help us reach more people. You can come join us on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube account, you can do that. Well, thank you. I appreciate you all. Are we done? I don't know if we're done in the market yet. I don't think so, but we don't necessarily need to sign anyone. That's just my opinion. Everything comes down to what the manager wants. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a defender. There's a chance, a huge chance, actually, for reasons I've explained before. Nkunku, for example, yeah, Lukaku, Garnacho, I think it'd be good. I've never been concerned about the signing of Garnacho. He's a freak, but he has what? Don't you have one too?
Don't talk about my boy, please, Lukaku. Please. Let's respect Lukaku, please.
Dang it. This is some language they're used by Rain. The comment reads Ganacha is a freak, but he has balls. Yeah, I'm sure you have one. You have two, actually, not one. But I have a very dirty mind, so you should be careful the sort of comments you put there. Let's see, Simmons going to flop. I don't want him to flop. But here's the thing: do I think he made the right choice? To him, he tell you yes that he's made the right choice. And to me, I'd always tell you that yeah, he did better of joining Chelsea, but we weren't ready to sign him. We weren't ready.
Yeah,
Even even had he waited even further, I don't think we'd get the deal across the line. I think before he agreed to join Spurs, he must have heard from us, telling we must have told him, "Yeah, bro, we're sorry for keeping you waiting, but unfortunately, given our situation, this is really going to not really going to work." I think because yeah, his brother, his agent, Ali, is it Ali, right? We have a good
Ali,
relationship with him.
Ali Barat.
Ali Barat. So chances are we tell him, just tell him to move on. We don't have to speak with him directly. These things, you get my point now. It's business for all parties involved. It's more
Yeah,
like saying this product you want, you don't want it anymore. We weren't fully committed. I think probably he must have had that plan of moving on at a certain point if he sees that we're not committed. And
yeah,
I think probably would find a way to apologize. Forget how we, as outsiders, how we see it. Some are calling, started calling, even Chelsea fans started calling the club names, forgetting that it's business, no sentiments. You just cannot
no,
overspend. You just cannot do what you're not supposed to do, irrespective of what happened. We cannot, because he waited for us for 2 months and risk, you said, getting fined or banned from the Champions League. Sentiments can lead to your business failing or you not doing well in life or having your family take everything you have in a family business because you know them. So sentiments, it's dangerous. I get it, not a good look, but chances are he probably doesn't have no grudges because we'd find a way, probably most likely through Ali, and tell your client, yeah, it's not gonna work. It's really that simple. Go ahead if you were saying something.
yeah. For me, if Chelsea were serious about him, as much as Spurs made an offer and they agreed with Leipzig, but at the end of the day, the player had to decide. They had to tell him, okay, give us until the deadline day. If nothing happens, you can go to whatever club you wanted to go, so that we can sort out the Nicholas Jackson issue. But we didn't do anything. Clearly, that's why maybe he went to Spurs. But overall, I think he'll do well at Spurs. But the main question right now, does he think that he's going to win more trophies at Spurs than Chelsea? That will remain to be seen. I don't think so. But again, let's see what will happen.
More importantly, um, It wasn't his fault that he ended up at Tottenham. I think here's the thing. I think you could argue. My opinion is that he did find himself in a desperate situation. Is it that he goes to sports to Tottenham, or who had already, by the way, agreed the terms of this of his sale with RB Leipzig. So if he didn't go there, he'd go back to Leipzig. And they did make that clear. They said if we don't get anything that makes economical sense for us, you are returning. If you
That,
remember, so he
yeah,
did find himself in a desperate situation and had to do what's best for him. But what I don't like, people calling the club names, Chelsea are a disgrace, Chelsea shit nonsense. I'm just happy those people aren't the ones running the club because they will run it into the gutter. And one saying he's sure Maresca isn't happy. If Maresca really wanted Xavi Simons, that's actually from a big account owner. If Maresca really wanted Xavi Simons, he'd be a Chelsea player right now. I think we would have found a way to make it happen. Because had we told him to wait, we'll get this deal across the line, let this happen, I think he'd wait. But we
I,
probably let it
I
happen.
disagree with that. I
Yeah, but go
disagree
ahead.
with
Yeah, let's hear you.
you know why I disagree, right? Because every time when they tell us about recruitment and stuff, right?
Hmm.
Uh, Not every way, everything goes to what the coach normally want, or not all the time. Let's say for example, right? Klopp, when he went to Liverpool, he wanted uh, who's that? Brent, something like Brent. Brent. You know Brent, right?
Hmm.
From
Hmm.
Brentford. And they signed who? Salah for him. He didn't want Salah, and it's because of who? The sporting director. They got an alternative for that, and then Salah actually worked out for Liverpool. So all I'm saying that not always the case. Coach get whatever he wants, but I won't say Enzo Maresca didn't have an
No,
influence.
I don't think it's giving him a blank check saying get whatever you want. No,
Exactly.
he has to okay a signing in most cases, especially signings we're making for the first team, and that's especially true with a manager who's proven that give me what I need and I'll win you more trophies. I'm not saying it's up to him to say I just want that, I want that player. No, they work together. They decide. If he says nah, this player won't work for me, I don't think we'll sign the check.
You know why? Also, another thing, coach, right?
Yeah.
Wait, let's talk about João Felix. João Felix said he talked with the coach. He told him what position he can play. Blah 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 blah. What? How many minutes did he play in the Premier League? Clearly, you can see Enzo Maresca didn't fancy this guy. The sporting director had an agreement with his agent, with Mendes, Jordan Mendes, right, to come to Chelsea. What did João Felix do at Chelsea? Didn't get enough minutes. Even Copa was struggling, but he didn't play João Felix. All I'm saying that sometimes doesn't work the way the coach wants. So I don't give. I won't be blinded by the media saying that, oh, he wanted this player, didn't want that player. No, 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 no. That's excuses. I think sometimes the sporting directors have their own way to push players to come to the club because they want them.
All right. I wanted to ask you this. I think the lineup, if it, I don't think it's out, probably will be out soon, already out, but we get to that in a bit. Do you think Bayern ends up signing Nicolas Jackson on a permanent? Because
For,
the fact that
for
they refuse they refuse to sign a deal where the case be and then with an obligation for a permanent purchase, which simply shows they're being cautious. But do you think they end up keeping him on a permanent?
for me, I will say two things, right? It depends how he do at buying. If he's making impact, scoring goals, and also another thing, I think what will work out for him if Harry Kane or Luis Diaz get an injury, I think he'll get a place a left winger or a striker because I've saw something from Bayern account saying that actually the reason why Bayern signed him because they think he can play uh, or taking position for Bayern. So they didn't sign him for a striker role only. Taking place a left winger, maybe a supporting striker, those kind of things. So overall,
So his
if it,
versatility overall.
yes, so I, for me personally, I think if you're getting enough game time, I think you'll do very well because we all know the Champions League. So let's see.
Yeah.
And
All right,
now,
Victor, big up to you, Victor. Thank you for joining us on the panel. Your thought, Nicola Jackson gone to Bayern, and it's not with an obligation for permanent purchase. It is with an option for a permanent purchase. And I'd say he's most likely coming back to Chelsea, but that's not an issue for me because he's proven he can. Yeah, he can do well in the Premier League. Did well for us, and the only thing we have against him is that he's hardly ever consistent. He's hardly ever efficient consistently in front of goal. Which can change over time because he can become a much better finisher. He doesn't shoot instinctively. Almost always hesitates before trying to shoot, but that can change, and which you can argue we didn't actually force him out, in my opinion. We were willing to keep him, and that reflects in our valuation of 80 million pounds. Showed we weren't really interested in moving him on, but he wanted to move on because he wants to be the sole striker at the club or maybe the preferred number one at the club. But big clubs don't do that. But let's hear your thoughts. I think he comes back, and that's not an issue for me. If he comes back, I think he'll come back hungrier, irrespective of how well he does in the German league. He'd come back knowing that, no option for him. He'd have to fight for his place. But let's hear you, Vic.
Yeah, Koji, can you hear me?
Crystal Clay, it looks like you're Sheraton. You're using Sheraton Wi-Fi today, not Mama Put.
No, Koji, good morning. How are you? It seems you are not, it seems you are
I
sick.
feel so
How are
much
you doing?
better. I feel so much better because usually by the time it gets to the point of where it is just my voice, my voice sound not deeper, but I'm not sure how to the more relatable language to use there.
It seems you have cold.
Yeah, exactly. I have code, but at this point, it is subsiding. It's just that it affects the voice.
Uh,
Yeah.
all right, sorry.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
Jackson, at the initial time, I think that Bayern Munich, they don't have that trust, that 100% trust in Jackson, Uh, Chelsea, we are demanding for them to go for the option, that obligation to buy, which we gave them at £10 million. Yeah, £10 million. They rejected it and went for option to buy, which is about £13 million. That shows that they don't have that trust, they don't have that belief. They are just like, okay, let's take the risk. They went for that option to buy, which is okay. They may not buy him. So it's less for Jackson to prove himself, and where the this thing where Hurricane is there present and he's doing well, and the game time will not be much for Jackson to prove himself, unless there is. I'm not praying for that. Unless Ken has an injury, then it will give Jackson that ample opportunity to perform. So that's it. I don't know if he
I mean,
performs
you
well,
never
he
know.
stays, because yeah, I never know. I don't know what will happen. He might go there because Bundesliga is not Premier League. He might go there and find his mojo and do very, very well. Who knows? So that's it. And another thing that is going to play against us in the Champions League. I don't like it.
That's fine by me. That's fine by me, really. Yeah, but let's see.
Yeah,
What else
coach,
we have?
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Isn't Ali? I think he's Ali Barat. Is he Nicholas Jackson's agent? I'm not sure. I don't know. Felix scored a hat trick yesterday. Yeah. Felix is happy. I'm happy. Yeah. Let's see. Big up to you, to Tommy Bryant. Nice to see you out. I hope you're doing well. Kaisaido must bring his fire extinguisher for Siemens when we play sports. He would want to prove a point. Yeah, he would want to prove a point. He would want to show us what we missed. I think we'd know that going into that game. But yeah, I'm not concerned. Let's see what else we have here. Yahweh Ibra says Jackson is a good striker, such a player without a because that the lot you can say I'm guessing what you're saying the number of goals he scored non xg non penalty xg and he can score 15 to all 10 if we have seen players like him. uh okay, I'm finding it difficult putting together what you're trying to say there. Probably your keyboard tried to help you finish it up, and yeah, it's a apologies for that, but I get it. Yeah, I think his output overall is good. No sugarcoating it. He did well, and as I've told people, if you makes you happy, he did break Didier Drogba's record in his first season as a Chelsea player. I think that says a lot. All right, what else do we have here? We've talked about Nicholas Jackson. He's headed to Bayern. This reads Nicholas Jackson to Bayern. Here we go. Dela agreed with Chelsea on the initial loan move, 15 million euros a loan fee for 1 season plus buy option clause, not mandatory, for 80 million euros pack and sell on clause. That's a lot of money. It's
And that's a good
difficult.
business too.
Sorry.
And that's a good business too.
Yeah, but yeah, from Bayern's perspective, do I think it's a good business? I think they just need a temporary solution, and they're willing to pay up to 50 million euros for the fee for the loan fee. And if Jackson ends up proving that, yeah, he's the guy for them to keep him, but most likely, I think he comes back. That's my opinion, anyway. I don't see them keeping him if they
He said,
still have the option.
he said you think he comes back or you want him to come back.
I don't want him to come back, but I don't think Bayern keeps him for 80 million euros.
You know,
It would take a lot.
Jackson is a good player. He's a wonderful player. Jackson is
I'm
a
not
wonderful
saying he's a
player. He
bad player.
works hard.
I'm not short
He
selling him.
works hard.
Yeah,
The only thing is that he misses a lot of chances. If he clears
and
for
that's
him
an
at
issue.
Bayern, he will do wonders.
If you're gonna
That's
be
it.
playing as number 9, there are certain type of chances you should be able to put away easily without breaking a sweat. That's the issue. And here's my theory. Again, I'm saying Bayern, they were in desperate situation, just as we were in a desperate situation to move him on after we realized he's not willing to stay and fight for his place. I think they are willing to pay. They have agreed to pay 15 million. That's a record fee for a loan,
Yeah.
and they're gonna cover his salary. They will cover his salaries, and now I think they were willing to pay that much money. Not necessarily. I don't think their plan is to probably keep him on a permanent, but they know they'd be able to get him on loan without an obligation for a permanent purchase. I don't think the plan is to keep him on a permanent, but if he goes there and proves that yeah he can be one of the best in the world as long as he plays in the Bundesliga, I think they'd keep him. But I still think 80 million euros. Chances are by the time we get to that time, they'd be looking at other options that they can get for far less. Maybe looking at much better players that they can get for a far lesser fee, in my opinion. But that's just me anyway. Um, let's see what else we have here. Femi Soladoye, Kara, nice to see you. Jackson is good for matches with higher physicality, but not too clinical with goals. But I am 100% sure we are fine with Pedro in at the lab. Truth be told, we don't really need Simmons. Okay, I hope that's not copium. Yeah, the summer agency. Okay, thank you for that information. And Collins Henya says, the lab gets injured. João Pedro. It's really that simple. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? The lineup is also, we should be looking at it in a bit. Christopher Nkunku has left Chelsea and completed a permanent transfer to Serie A. I don't know. You could argue unlucky because under certain managers, I think he'd still be at Chelsea. But his inability to press, you can say, is one of the main reasons why he was never going to work for Maresca, unfortunately. And you see, I'm quite sure you all heard what Maresca said about him. Yeah, he's a consummate professional. Was at Chelsea, and which was why actually the manager took him to the Club World Cup, not just because he was available for selection or was with the squad, but because yeah, he's a consummate, exemplary, maybe professional. With Jackson, we wouldn't have won the Club World Cup. Them two goals against Fluminense does not happen with Jackson. All right, AP, thank you so much. I know you don't like him, but good luck to Cristo, a consummate professional. I hope he survives there. So, by the way, yeah, Chelsea are in fourth place and Fulham are in 13th place in the table. So let's see. Lineup is out. Let's see. Let's talk about them. Let's see if you're in the chat and you've seen the lineup already. Your thoughts? Would you rather we start certain a certain player in certain positions? I hope it reflects here. More likes, people keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. 16 likes, and while we have 85 people following the show, we should be doing a lot better than that. But that's what we get for streaming in a vertical format. I don't know. Is this the correct lineup? Let me compare with the one
Good.
in fifth stand. Go ahead.
No, I was trying to okay check Chelsea's page or something. Their handle and see the okay. You want the listen? Okay, okay.
Yeah, can you call what the
Um,
lineup you have there if you can see it? Okay. But
no, I can't
that
say
should be
it.
the correct one because Fort Mob also did send they sent me a notification here. Let me see. Jackson said more than once he wanted to stay and fight for his place, but your hero Maresca on more than one occasion dismissed him in a press conference. I think it's a matter of interpretation. I think it already. I remember him. Well, according to Fabrizio Romano, Jackson wants to feel important. So before, in my opinion, before my hero Enzo Maresca started being dismissive of him, my hero, like you called him, I think probably he'd already told the club that yeah he wants to leave. And you remember Fabrizio saying Jackson wants to feel important. But I wanted him to stay, but it is what it is. But I think he comes back. I don't see Bayern keeping him. So I'm looking at the lineup here. I think what we have on the screen is correct. Sanchez between the sticks. Tosin is there. Chalobah, Gusto. So okay. Let me see here. I'm seeing okay. Cucurella, Caicedo, Enzo. So James isn't on the pitch. Estevao, João Pedro, Pedro Neto, and the lab. So Reece James isn't starting this game. Okay, yeah, it has a refreshed, and this is the correct lineup here. Yep. Between the sticks, Robert Sanchez. This is the starting structure anyway. The application much different. But quickly says, yeah, I love Jackson, but it's all about Chelsea FC with me. Yeah, the club is bigger than anybody. So between the sticks, Sanchez, two center backs, Tosin in Chalobah, left back, Marco Correa, of course, right back, Malo Gusto, two sixes, Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. I thought we were going to see Isugo today in the 10 position, starting position, I would call that. João Pedro number 9, Liam Delap, left wing, Pedro Neto, right wing, Estavo William. Your thoughts on the lineup, Victor?
Yeah, the lineup is very good. But there is news that was it yesterday? They said that Casedo only trained once since this week. He just trained only once, and he's not fit. I don't know how that news is, how correct the news is, but the lineup is good. It's a winning, winning lineup, and yeah, James is not there. But which I will know why he's not there, and sometimes he comes as a substitute, sometimes he starts. So yeah, it's
Because
understandable. And Fulham,
we're managing his fitness.
yeah, we're managing him, and he's good like that. until he is fully fit. Fulham is a strong team. Fulham is a strong team, and you don't need to underrate them. Their coach has said that okay, he knows our advantage, that we are going to capitalize on it. I want to let him know that Maresca is not Amorim. That we are going to deal with him today. Yeah,
That
he's our
was a
match
bit
to win.
again a bit of arrogance from him, really. But I usually when you hear that he probably overthink things. I don't know. Maybe he's playing a mind game. I don't think Maresca played in a particular way. And then as I've told people, that's a misconception with regards to how he approaches the game. There are you can say there are a hallmark of his approach. You can say some the basic principles of his approach that remain the same, but there are a lot of other stuff that he changes, which makes it difficult for opposition managers. But that's by the way. Let's see quickly. Let's see. Yeah, Stav is saying what happens if both strikers get injured. Ever since the 80s, we've had three or four strikers. Last season, Gui and Jackson were injured. Yeah, in the same game, scrapped into top four. Houston, I think Jackson has to leave. We weren't looking to sign him, but that's my opinion. But you seem to believe that he was told to leave. I don't think that's the case. Fabrizio said Jackson wants to feel important, and as such, yeah, a divorce was imminent at the time, for lack of a more relatable language. But yeah, I think Jackson this season was his moment to shine. And Maresca, let's give him a chance once again when he's gone, Mr. Chuma. Um, all right, Tebeho, your thoughts on
Jackson,
the
Jackson,
lineup?
Jackson is done already. Let them allow Jackson to go. It's gone already. And the Jackson, when you look at Jackson, you know that Jackson, okay, throughout that, since he got red card against Newcastle, then against with Flamingo, right? He's been angry. When you look at him, he's not, that Jackson that we used to know. And Fabrizio said that okay, he wants to feel that important. Before you want to feel important, you must bring something to the table. You must, be impactful. You
Say,
must be,
prove yourself.
giving us that thing we need. Yeah, it's not that okay, I want
Yeah,
to feel important. You cannot be the only striker we have at Chelsea. Chelsea is a big club. There's no way we'll have only you as a striker or the top. You need to perform. You need to prove yourself before that, importance will be accorded to you. That's just it. He's gone. He's gone to Bayern Munich. Let's pray he perform well so that Bayern Munich will keep him. That's
yeah,
just
Yeah,
it.
and
which I don't think happens because
and
before he gets to play important games, Harry Kane must be injured.
yeah, also the issue with Jackson, I think maybe Enzo Maresca or the team lost it after that second red card he got against Flamingo, because I think he was in for 3 minutes or so and he got a red card. No, 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 that's unacceptable. But overall, in terms of the lineup, I'm okay with the lineup. People say, oh, Moses Caicedo should not start because of what the coach said. But I think Enzo Maresca is trying to manage this guy. Same as Rhys James. As much as I want Rhys James to start, but I think if Rhys James is not 100% ready, don't risk it because we have a long season ahead of us. So I'm glad he didn't start him. And I'm okay with Malo Gusto because it's on and off, but again, it's not a bad player. Hopefully, we can do the job and smash Fulham today. And coach, I'm going to do a watch along there.
Yeah, okay, okay. All right, thank you for that information. Let's see. I will redirect the show to yours. So that yeah. And then watch Maresca's live press conference on Sky. So okay, I will. Definitely. It's. I mean, I open to learning what you're trying to say there, but I think he was the one that asked to leave, and that's my opinion. Femi Osoladoye says is Gui? No, I think it's Guy. Mark Guy is still at Chelsea. No, and he's on loan at Sunderland. Sunderland, that's where he is, right, guys?
Yeah, he has scored already.
Yeah, in a cup game, right?
Yes.
All right. All right, people. If you're following the show and if you see the hype button, please hype the show. Help us earn more hype points, which will in turn help the channel grow. And also keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. We have a total of 290 people following the show, 77 on YouTube. The rest are shared between X and Facebook, where they're equally. Coachila doesn't know. But if you're following the show on YouTube, please take a second, drop a like on the video, The likes do go a long way. Here's how you'd find it. Press and hold your screen for just about a second. Then you see the bells and the whistles, which includes the like, comment, and share options. I appreciate you all. For me, this is not a bad lineup. Would I have loved to see James on the pitch? I think the selection of Gusto over James probably pace. The manager's prioritizing pace on the left, the right hand side, because yeah, he will be seem to be more comfortable operating on the left hand side from his side. So on our right hand side, it's important to have the pace of Malo Gusto there. I think he's quicker than Reece James. I think we all know that's obvious, really. Left hand side, yeah, I think a good start. His experience, Kukure's experience is needed. Hato or Hato, his time will come. He will eventually become a standard to then be a matter of rotating. I think once the Champions League start, probably we'll see one of them in Europe, one of them in the Premier League, just like Maresca did last season. Not bad. I did not expect Caicedo to start, given the fact that we heard that he wasn't fully fit. Maybe the manager was playing a mind game. I honestly don't know. But I'm happy he's on the pitch. Esugo still not quite polished yet. I know he will get there. He will get his chance. I don't want us to run what's his name into the gutters. So let's look at what the numbers tell us. But if you are in the channel and if you have any questions, ask. We will try to address it. And remember the rule: do not ask a difficult question. If you do, we'll pretend we cannot see it. Okay, let's see. Um, what do we have? Emil Rose Smith, former Arsenal player. Uh, his rating is 6.46. João Pedro 7.48. He has one goal. João Pedro has one. Expected goals, he has 0.79. So, okay. João Pedro, you could argue more efficient because, yeah. Assists, João Pedro has two. Rose Smith has none. Matches played, two apiece. Okay. So let's do all the traditional stuff we usually do when we're here. I think probably 70 plus people probably will believe Chelsea will win. Let's see. I've voted now. Let's see. Ooh, close. 69% believes Chelsea will beat Fulham. 22% believes it will end in the draw. And 9% believes Fulham will win Chelsea. I think draw is a possibility. Very, given the way they play. Michael Silva, um, tactically good enough to make things life difficult for us, but I think we can still beat them. We have to look at everything that the numbers tell us. Let's look at insights as usual, and please let me make this clear. Disclaimer, maybe. Insights can only give you a sensible idea with regards to what the outcome of a particular game would be. It doesn't. It's not a certainty. Whatever, again, you conclude after looking at the insights doesn't necessarily mean the game will certainly end that way. Football is played over 90 minutes plus added time. Yeah. So you cannot script football. It's really that simple. We have scored 14 goals in our last 5 matches. They've scored 9, so we've scored 6 more. So we can score. We scored 6 more. Chelsea and Fulham have not drawn any of their last 5 matches against each other. So definitely, most likely, not definitely, that will be a winner. That will most likely be a winner than a draw. João Pedro is ranked second in big chances created in the competition, 2 in total. Fulham have conceded the most penalties this season. Okay, Esteva is on the pitch. I hope we get one. They haven't lost in 6 matches. So here's the thing. Now that makes it a bit interesting. The fact that our last matches against last 5 matches against them, none ended in a draw. Then here they're telling you also that they haven't lost any games in 6 matches. Makes you understand, yeah, a draw is likely too. very likely. But more likely, you could argue a win, given the fact that yeah, the last five meetings between the two teams, none have ended in a draw. So it's a difficult one. It could end in a draw. It could end in a win. But here's what gives me hope. We scored a lot more goals than them in our last five matches in total. But let's see. In our last five games, we won four, drew one. They won three, drew two. Okay, how many goals did we score? I think we have the numbers. We've worked with it actually. How many did we concede? In our last five games, we conceded just two goals. In their last five games, they considered how many? Okay, they considered one here, one here. In total, four. So it's looking like something that's gonna end in a draw. But I think we will edge it. If we win, it'd be something like 2-1 or 3-1. But that's not to say we don't end up seeing something like 4-1, 3-1, 5-1. It's simple. Numbers gives you a sensible idea with regards how the game ends, but not a certainty. Why? You just cannot script football. Just as you remember, a lot of people thought PSG definitely they were going to mop the stadium carpet with Chelsea during that club before that Club World Cup final. Only a few people told them, "Look, don't discount Chelsea." Is that the correct language? Okay, that it doesn't matter, but at least you understand what I wanted to communicate there. So yeah, it's gonna be a tight one. Could end up becoming a blowout, but if he becomes a blowout, it definitely be on Chelsea's side because we have a more potent attack than them. I think they probably tried to defend deep and hit us on the break. They have the pace, and you can say they can be potent too in front of goal. But yeah,
Coachila, every option there is a possibility. That's it. Every option there, win, draw, lose. The other options there are possibilities. But the only thing, the high chance of Chelsea winning the game is the chance Chelsea winning the game is very, very high.
yeah,
Because when you look at, okay, in the last five matches, they have conceded four goals,
and we've
and
conceded
Chelsea has
just
conceded
and we
only
conceded
two.
just two. Yeah,
And we just considered two, and we score more goals than them. It shows that okay, we are better than them. So
yeah,
the possibility of Chelsea winning the game is very, very high, higher than
yeah.
theirs
But I
winning
think they,
Chelsea.
they will
So
score.
why not?
It looks like they're gonna score, and
They
the
they might
average
they
goal.
might score. The last time we met, they scared us. They scared us. We just, I don't even know how we came out from that game victorious. We just scored late two goals. You know, to come out from that game victorious. So
They're well
Fulham is
drilled,
is is tough when it comes to Fulham because derby. It's a derby game, and
yeah.
they
One could
they
argue,
they
I
all
agree,
put
yeah.
everything.
So they are
Yeah.
well drilled, and the manager tactically astute. Not quite there, but tactically he knows how to make life difficult for any opposition. And yeah, I get it. Their goal overall, their average, and you could argue, I think at most 1.3 per game, and we're averaging 2.0 goals per game. Something to that mathematics. Off the bat. I didn't use a calculator. So for me, yeah, we can edge it by a goal, like 2-1, 3-1. That's not to say we cannot see 5-1 from but it's football. You just cannot script it. So I agree with you. Tabejo, what do you make of what the insights tell us?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game because, like you said, Marco Silva is not just any coach. It's actually a good coach. So overall, I think it's a tight match. But again, the way I saw our tech player against West Ham, I have a belief that we can create a lot of chances and score maybe two or three goals and win the game. So I think it's going to be tight. But again, we just need to win, man. I don't care how we play it. We just need to win. I just want it. I want us to win.
Yeah, I do want us to win. And yeah, let's see what it says here. This reads that's from Rich Money Makers. I'm losing my voice, but I feel like saying, still screaming, rich money makers. Nice to see you. This reads, big up everyone on the panel. I can tell you that Nicholas Jackson was only let go because we are bringing in another player. I've been told that the coach wants a Famin. And even if Constantine Dante doesn't believe you, okay, us, the famous sporting directors are trying to get him because the coach wanted another centre back, but the coach didn't want to lose Trevor Chalobah for his experience. I have been told Mr. Caicedo has been arrested but trained yesterday with no issues, according to your trusted sources. But much love to you. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Your health wise, always nice to see you. And thank you for that information there. And Jackson haters won. Jackson believer lost today.
No, 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 no.
I think that's no. Here's the thing: that Jackson is leaving because he wants to leave. That's how I see it. I mean, you have every right to differ, but that's how I see it. We want to keep him. That's how I interpret our valuation of Jackson. Saying if you want him, you pay us 80 million pounds. That simply means, in my opinion, we weren't looking to force him out, and we also did hear one of the reports that suggests that actually, if we end up not selling him, we're happy to reintegrate him into the squad. Unless it's a famine, we have weakened the team. Wrestler Delap is no better. He's different. Does it even? I don't even compare them. He's more of a traditional number nine, underrated. People don't rate his ability on the ball, but he can be quite good on the ball. And he can actually drop deep, create for his teammates too. But here's one thing that I've noticed that's very common from the average football fan is the behavior of not looking beyond the size of big players or not looking beyond the power of players that play the way the lab plays to really see that player or maybe sometimes not looking beyond the industry of industrious players to see that player in question can actually be technical. The lab can be technical, but usually, what people see first is that his power, and hold up play, and his size and everything, and not realize that he's actually overall a good player. Just like in the case of Joba, highly technically gifted, but in most cases, people don't look beyond his power. So Delap, his overall
Coach,
play is actually excellent. Yeah, go ahead.
Coachila,
Mhm.
Chelsea fans, they don't care. They don't care all these things you are saying. They don't care about that. All what they care is about, okay, score goal and assist. That's all what they think about. That's
I mean, it's
what
the same for every
they care.
average football
So
fan,
the
though.
last, yeah, the lap is a good player. He has not even played much games. He just the season is just starting, and he has shown that okay, he is very strong physically. He is strong. He hold the ball. His decision making is very good. So I don't know why people are saying the lap is this, the lap is that. He's a good player. He's very good player. He's a good player. So let's wait. That goes, that assist, they are coming. Let's just wait. Let's not rush the guy. The guy is good. We have we have Ja Pedro. If he's not performing, Ja Pedro can fill the space.
Yeah, but yeah, come on, coach, you know it. If he doesn't leave, he goes to bomb squad. I think that's just an assumption. That's just an assumption. Jackson isn't a bad player. He's not. Needs to be he needs just to look himself in the mirror and you can say do some self-reflection and work on stuff that he needs to work on, aka start to shoot instinctively, improve his you can say his shooting in front of goal, and do that consistently and not be Nicolas Anelka today and tomorrow Darwin Nunes. If you get my point. Nobody's saying he's a bad player. He's gone on loan with an option to buy. You Jackson lovers need to come down. There's a chance. I think he's more likely to come back, given how much Bayern would have to pay to buy him on a permanent purchase, except if that amount, it would be that the 80 million euros minus 15 million euros already paid. But Bayern will probably, before the league ends, will start looking at other options. That's how I see it. They exploited that desperation. But you could argue we also, because 15 million euros loan fee is a record and a good one. Probably we're willing to take him back if he comes back, knowing that he's probably, in my opinion, most likely coming back to Chelsea, because he would take a lot for him to get a chance. He would take, what's his name, Harry Kane getting injured. I don't see him actually starting over down. What's his name? The guy that went there from Liverpool, not Darwin Nunes. What's his name? Luis Diaz. I don't see him starting over Luis Diaz. All right. If fans judged Jackson on goal output, then it should be same yardstick of the lab. That's fine by me. But if Jackson is leaving because fans judged him, then he shouldn't be at Chelsea. Yeah, I agree. Some energy. But if you leave a club, but I'm quite sure that's not what you're saying. I'm just suspecting, if that's the case, if that's what you're saying, that he's leaving because fans judged him, then he shouldn't be at Chelsea. It's as simple as that. And you know I like him. I'm just aware that there are things
They
he
should they
needs to
should they should
do
they
better
should
to
give
become a
they
better
should give
player.
Delap time. It's too early. It's too early to judge Delap. It's too early to judge him. They should give him time. Jackson has been here for almost 2 years, and this is getting to three years this year. So let's give Delap a time. Delap is just how many months, or even has he reached even a month? Let's just give him time.
Yeah. He says, bro, the lab has hardly played again for Chelsea. Yeah, and I think he'd do well. The lab is completely different player as well. Yeah, physicality, but yeah, he's good on the ball too. But unfortunately, physicality is what people know, and they don't hardly ever look beyond that. The Famin Lopez transfer is going to be like Palmer's Lopez is underrated, but he is tactically sound, technically, and bring him physicality to the game. He was a top goal scorer for Spain in the World Cup. Okay, let's see. Bayern paid 17 million euros for 27-year-old Diaz. They have money. They just want to test drive before buying. I understand that, which is why I'm telling you, chances are before the season ends, they'll be looking at other options. Jackson would have to be at the top of his game for them to say, okay, we're sticking with him. And is that possible? It would take Harry Kane getting injured and him becoming a regular starter. That's my opinion. He could get a chance here and then still prove, yeah, he's the man. Or if Harry Kane doesn't score and they're frustrated, take him off and bring him on and he scores, it can happen. I remember, I will almost always remember the case of Kano Wanko at Ajax at the time. I think, who was it that got injured, that he got a chance to play, and that's it. The rest is history. Chelsea better take advantage of that transfer. Not that simple. Everything now in the hands of Bayern. Jackson was a converted left winger. I know that. Yep. Jackson had 3 seasons as a pro in the top leagues in Europe. Coach, you trot out the same things. At this age, Drogba was playing. No, don't blame me. What have I said wrong about Jackson? I defend him. I'm talking about how I believe what I believe Bayern would do. I've always told people, if he helps them, remember he broke Didier Drogba's record in his first season. I'm not saying I never said he's a bad player. I only talk about what I believe he needs to do to become better. Even at that, I still remind people, look, he did better than Didier Drogba in his first season. I don't know why. Because you were friends, you always like to fight me.
That Didier Drogba in his first season. I don't know why, because
All
you are
right,
friends, you
who's doing
always
this
like
to
to
me?
fight me.
Ola Soji Abiola, Blues
All
will
right,
win today.
who's doing
I
this?
hope we do. Victor, we can get it. We're getting the feedback from your end. All right, let's see what else do we have here. Wally Waldo says, I won't compare stats at the end of the season. Jackson had I don't think the comparison is necessary. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it will. But you can do, of course, stats said there to be used for such papers. You can go ahead and do that if you want to do that, Wally Ward. Though Chelsea need to be patient with the lap, with every player we sign. But once again, I don't think Jackson is leaving because the fans don't like him. It's really that simple. I don't think so one bit. He's leaving because he wants to feel important, according to Fabrizio Romano. Where did the name Coachila come from? You want to talk about it? From Nigeria. Yeah, this game has been something I did. I had Houston, just quickly. I had growing up. I think it was what year was it? 2001 to 2006 or so. I had at a very very young age. I had a youth team called Alliance FC. Had what changed? I think it started as All Star Boys, then changed it to Alliance FC. Yeah, but thank you for asking. That's by the way, Dante. Thank you for finding the time to join us on the panel. I do hope you're doing well. Your thoughts on the lineup, and also you. I think we have time before. What time does the game start? Your thoughts on the Nicholas Jackson deal to Bayern Munich. I don't like that it's not with an obligation to buy, but if Jackson comes back, fine. I think he'd come back hungrier, knowing that yeah, he has to now just stay fight for his place. I would like to see that happen. The game starts 8:30, so we still have time. Yeah, and it's important that usually because I will be redirecting people to Tebeho's watch along. It's important that he starts before I do that, so people don't go there and the show hasn't started. They'd leave. But Dante, your thoughts? Nicholas Jackson's a deal to Bayern.
Yeah, big up, Coachila,
Yeah, big up to you
Tobago,
too.
Victor as well, and everyone in the chat. Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
deal
big up.
in a sense, and obviously because it's not an obligation to buy, it doesn't make it quite that good deal. But in the sense of that loan, that's a world record fee for a loan. That fee, so that's a massive fee anyway. It's almost half the price that we bought him for. So he's getting loaned
You
there
can
for
say
one.
that's what enticed us to even listen to Alone, right?
I think so. I think that obviously helped Jackson not wanting to explore the option as well. So the player obviously wanted to leave. So it's obviously enticed us, and it's a good deal in the end. And I repeat this again. I keep saying it's a very, very, very good deal for Nicholas Jackson as well. It's not as good as if it was permanent because he would have got a lot more money, obviously, from the sale, but he's basically going there to be a second choice, competing with Kane. But I keep saying this: if Kane gets injured or something happens, he's the number one guy there, and that's pretty important. I mean, it's easier there to get more game time than it would be here. So even so, that even if Kane doesn't get injured, he still get a lot more game time, I think, that he would at Chelsea. But I think the key thing is he wanted to leave, and once the club heard that, well, that's changed things, and we're looking to move him on. So Maresca
I
most
think yeah,
likely.
his decision to leave changed everything.
Yeah, look, Maresca would have been all over that, and once he heard that, that was probably it. That's it. That's pretty much he said that. As we know, any player that doesn't want to be there or even hints about it, they're gone. So if he
Would
would
you
have said,
say it's the same manner that's in the way Noni Messieke, the way he left? Because we
yeah,
already knew that he was gonna leave before Maresca started dismissing him during his process. But in the case of Nicholas Jackson, because yeah, you could say talks about his departure were a bit subtle, not quite as obvious as Fabrizio and others were certain that Nani Madeke, yeah, Arsenal are considering him. And we realized
yeah,
at the time, I don't think they'd be considering him if they hadn't gotten some measure of, you could say, confidence. You could say, or go ahead, or for lack of a more specific term, there from his camp. Do you think it's similar? Because yeah, because the reason I'm saying this is staff saying in the chat that Maresca was dismissive of Nicholas Jackson. That's because yeah, he already knew that he wanted to leave the club.
yeah. Look, I think the plans was for him to stay, but once he obviously, saw what's happening, who he signed, maybe in training, maybe plans that Maresca told him, and he can see which way it's going, he probably changed his mind and decided to leave. And yeah, and once Maresca obviously heard that, probably had a chat with him, and that was it. Finished and move on, no problem.
Which
Uh,
led to him speaking the way he did. This
Correct, and
what
this,
what
yeah,
what what staff calls dismissive of Jackson.
yeah. Well, people have their own opinion. That's fine, but Jackson was at the Club World Cup. He didn't get to play because we know what happened. Obviously, he did play. He actually played at the Club World Cup, but he got sent off as well. So that complicated things. He wasn't going to play the next couple of games anyway at that Club World Cup. So he was still in the plans at that stage. Even coming back, I think he was still in the plans. It's only before that, obviously, he actually trained, and then before the Leverkusen game, the friendly, that's when obviously stuff changed. Obviously, he probably made a decision that he was going to go. So that's when Maresca started, like you say. So look, it all comes together slowly now. You can realize the pieces, what's happened, but good luck to him. He's got a great move. The player still, in my personal opinion, the player still won in this situation because he's got a great move at a big club, and he'll be getting a lot of game time there. And like I said, if Kane something happens, he's going to be the main man there basically. So
Because
for him,
he's the only one that's more of a number 9 than any other player they have there, right?
it's a very very good move in my opinion, and I think he's happy about it. And look, the club, we've got, like I said, pretty much half our money back, and they're covering the full salary on top of that as well. So it's actually goes up a lot more if you factor in his money, his salary, and then that loan fee. It goes up to like nearly 20 million. So yes, it's a very good deal for both. We'll see what happens. It just gives him more time to see how we develop, what players, how they go. You never know, in a year's time, maybe comes back. Who knows? Things change in football after a year very quickly. So if he doesn't, he'll be sold, and we'll still make a very, very healthy profit anyway. If he basically goes to Bayern Munich and plays well and does well, and Bayern Munich are pretty much Kane, he's only got a year left, 2 years left max. Well, they might actually get that option if he does well. So for them, it's not much money to pay. They can pay that money to Bayern Munich. We saw it with the Liverpool player they signed, 29,
Their revenue
29 year
stream
old
is like one of the best.
Luis Diaz, 29-year-old. They paid 80 million for. So I
So
don't think money is the
they,
problem.
I know we use experience and age interchangeably. They value experience a lot.
They do, but there's no return on that figure. There's no return. There's no money return on that. There's nothing on that. So it's a little bit more risky. But they want proven players so they can win. They're probably not quite convinced with Jackson. Hence, they're basically, someone said a test driving first to see how he goes. If it's
Mhm.
successful, they'll pay that money at the next season. If it's successful, simple as that. If he's not, they won't, and he'll come back. Or they might still want him, but a little bit lower than that, maybe 60 million, not 80 million. You know what I mean? So look,
Mhm.
it's fine. He's gone. It's that problem's not around anymore. I'm not worried about Jackson anymore.
If he comes back, I'd welcome him. I think he'd come back hungrier. Um, has happened. It has happened. You don't force a player to stay when they want to
The
leave.
only thing I'll say to that coach, I don't think Maresca would welcome him back.
All right. Let's say I don't have a problem with any of the Lap and Pedro, but you don't sit in press conferences saying those two are my strikers. No coach did in the past. Gillett, Viali, Dean with Flo Zola and everything you said. That okay. Let's see what else we have here. I like this. Limited. You're kind of limited with James moving forward as you try to protect him. Might lose some matches if not used correctly. Yeah, that's simply the truth. You got to be. You can say use your number 6 there, as Nigerians would say. Gusto has improved. Let's hope he continues. I mean, he's still very young and will only get better. Maresca never said any negative thing about Jackson. It was obvious he wanted to remain number 1. Hence, he wanted to move on. Chelsea letting him go. I don't blame the club. All right, let's see what staff has to say. So we'll move on. Okay, I'm not going to read that because that might lead to back and forth between you and somebody there. If you have anything to say to the person, say them. If you're going to say something about the current topic, fine, then I'll read it. But I'm not going to be reading something when you're referencing somebody's name with a with that sort of question. No, I'm not doing that. I apologize. You and I probably looks like we're due for a fight. It looks like we'll fight every 10 streams.
All right, coach. It's
Let's
all good.
no, but I'm not reading that. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Nothing new. Time to go news hunting. But Dante, your thoughts on the lineup? I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I have seen it. It's the same lineup as we played last time, so I was kind of expecting that. The only probably change
Is
I'd
it really the same lineup?
yes, 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 yes.
All
So
right,
James
go
is
ahead.
still on the bench.
What you were
That's the only
saying?
one that probably surprised me a bit. That James is on the bench still, and Gusto retain his spot. So other than that, it's the same lineup. I'm look, it's a great lineup. It'll work very well, no problem. I think the James one is more Maresca knowing that he's number one for England. Thomas Tuchel said that he's Rhys James is number one, that right back role for England. So he knows he's going to play probably both games for England as well. So that might be in the back of their mind to just manage him a little bit because of that. So um, yeah. Otherwise, I think he should have played. I'm not sure. Obviously, Maresca chooses the team, looks at opposition matchups, etc. What he wants to do. So he made the decision, obviously. So yeah, James looks like for the second game he's not starting. Yeah, so that's the only surprise. Other than that, no surprise at all. To be honest, that's exactly the team I was
For the
expecting.
second game, looks like what? He's not starting. Okay. Okay, now
Who's-
I get it. We're trying
Yeah,
to do news hunting here, but the page not quite loading as quickly as, as we would want to. I think we'll do news hunting. Uh, okay, Bobby is here. Let's hear Bobby while we wait for the page to load so we can see if anything new emerged as the show progressed. Bobby, big up to you and thank you for joining the conversation. I'm quite sure you've heard it. Nicholas Jackson gone to Bayern with an option, for a permanent purchase, not an obligation. And sell-on clause also should they decide to sign them on a permanent purchase. And we actually made a special order from Brighton. What happened in that case? We won a player, and they didn't want to let the player go because they like the player a lot. They don't want to sell him on a permanent, so we got him on a loan. We got him on loan with a clause. I call it a hybrid clause that says somebody wants him as long as we can match
Aidan,
whatever
go
that
get
the
me a
club
blue cup
in question is
upstairs with the
offering,
plastic
and we
on
can
top
keep him. Sorry, Bobby, what did you say?
underneath the TV. No, I'm waiting for you to let me talk. I know you don't let me talk, so
Yeah,
I'm
and you know I
carrying
don't
on
like
here
to. Yeah,
until you're
yeah.
ready.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. No, we're
Yeah,
hearing you.
yeah,
You're
big
talking.
up,
I thought maybe
guys.
you started talking.
Big up, guys. Yeah, I'm
Big up
glad
to you,
you
bro.
recognize that with Stab, you go a certain distance, then the fights have to come. So, so you know the thank you. You know the rhythm
No,
with
he
that.
is my friend, so I know him very well.
Yeah, but it's good he's back in the circuit. Look,
Hmm.
guys, let me reiterate myself. I am Chelsea foundational for 5 decades. I've worked with the club. I go to the club. I've seen everything in terms of the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not going to come on here and pretend to be this level-headed BS talking what's good for this, that, and other clubs. No, my entire focus, aim, desire, and aspiration is for the greatness of Chelsea Football Club. Period. I don't give a rat's backside about any other club. I really don't care. I'm here to watch Chelsea lift trophies, be the best, and remain the best. Nicholas Jackson. I never supported that sale. I think it's stupid. For whatever reasons, I know that the UEFA constraints targeted at Chelsea has helped as a hampered or influenced our transfer dealings. Certainly, to me, it's very clear that's what happened with Xavi Simons. We didn't bid because we were waiting for the departure of both Nkunku and Jackson for a fairly significant fee, neither of which went for any of those so called significant fees. And eventually, I think Chelsea just thought, okay, we have to let this one slide because it's better to stay compliant with the competition than breach the compliance. I may add, this is a targeted thing by UEFA. They're just targeting Chelsea as always, because when Barcelona was pulling financial levers, mortgaging, remortgaging themselves, to this day are suffering from that. Nobody said a word. They have not been financially compliant for years. Nobody talks. But when Chelsea buy a few players, amass a few players in a bid to find their equilibrium in the rebuild after nearly being destroyed by their own government, everybody's up in arms. That was very, very visible in the somewhat weak applause we were given when UEFA recognized us for a clean sweep of all their trophies. May I add, including, I know it's not their trophy, but we've won both versions of the Club World Cup. Long may these successes continue, but they targeted us with this BS rule that nobody fully understands. But all it boils down to is Chelsea Football Club. We want you to weaken. We want you to get rid of the A-list players that you had in the Conference League. Go before we allow you to get any other players to register. That's all that rubbish is. It's got nothing to do with anything other than targeting. So it's affected us. So what did the club do? A few silly things. Buonote, we talked about that last night. I have to see to believe because I'm not convinced. Garnacho, I have to see to believe because I'm not convinced. I don't really see those signings as being anything that will shift the needle for us. What will shift the needle for Chelsea this season is that we remain fit. Fitness is absolutely 150% totally important. That's what will make us compete. That's why James is on the bench, and I hope he continues to have that sort of rotation with gusto for the sake of his own career, because I fear that Thomas Tuchel will probably try and play him back to back in these stupid England friendlies because. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It,
yeah. I was, yeah,
Yeah, when
yeah.
when someone tries to call me, I'm on my phone. It almost knocks me out. So these stupid England friendlies. I hope he doesn't do that because that's how they got him injured before. But Maresca is anticipating that. Another thing I'm keeping my eye on is how he uses Caicedo. He's got to give Caicedo some respite. Rotation is key for Chelsea. That's why we need that squad depth. Look at the kind of money and players Arsenal have purchased, Liverpool have purchased, City have purchased, Spurs even have purchased. They're all considerably uh, uh, they all considerably have strength in depth. And that's what we're going to be competing with in the season. Not to mention the difficult Champions League program that we have. I'm a little bit surprised that Chelsea did that Bayern Munich deal with Bayern, considering we're going to be playing them in the group stages of the Champions League. And it's going to be a hot game because they will never forget what we did to them at the Allianz and took away the trophy. And we're meeting them in the Allianz again. So they'll be highly charged for that. And why we are strengthening them only to weaken ourselves, God only knows. And I doubt very much if UEFA have that same clause that if a club has loaned you, you can't play against them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I doubt if that's there. But it is what it
Yeah, I don't
is.
think he'll play them.
It is
He
what
won't
it
play against.
is. We are where we are. Fitness becomes the issue. Rotation is key. I don't want any of this nonsense. I've said it in the season. I will be incandescent if I hear BS about people saying, oh, so and so's on the bench. Oh, he has to leave. He has to be double S. Nobody else does this SHIT. Nobody, only Chelsea supposed fans. We have to rotate. We have to rest some players. We have to field some players. I'm surprised he started with uh, uh, Enzo Fernandez today. I was thinking it was a game to start Andre Santos, not just for rotational reasons, but for the simple fact that Enzo is still not quite ready and Santos is. I think Santos, in terms of his match readiness and his performances, he's a bit ahead of Enzo. And this game isn't a game to play around with. Fulham are a serious team. But, that's where we are. The lineup is not surprising, but the intent for the rest of the season must be focused on strength in depth and good rotation.
All right, thank you so much, Bobby. I appreciate you. Yeah, I knew you weren't gonna be happy because you say you did talk about, you did let us know your opinion on why you think we should keep him, but you don't keep a player that doesn't want to stay. Clearly, we were able to, you can say, tell that we're not really looking to sell him, given our valuation. No, our asking price of 80 million pounds, not even euros. And even though he told the club already, that's my belief anyway. You can see it differently, that he wants to leave. He wanted to leave. We're still putting out briefs saying even if we end up not selling him, we will reintegrate. We'll be happy to reintegrate him into the squad. And the fact that he says he wants to be important means he's not ready to compete. If he comes back, I'd still welcome him because he's a good player. He just needs to improve. He needs to do some self reflection, realize the areas where he needs to do better, and that's it. Because he did everything right except put away chances that come his way consistently. As I've said 1,000 times, and not be Nicolas Anelka today and tomorrow Darwin Nunes. He contributes defensively, tracks back effectively, creates for his teammates also, can pull off one of those, you can say, the most difficult goals. He put them away, the easiest ones. He shoots in a manner that the rugby union will look at that and say, yeah, we need that guy to be playing rugby. But yeah, let's see what happens. If he comes back, he'd come back hungrier and better, I think, I believe. But let's see what happens. So Rich Moneymaker says, big up everyone. I've been told that we can sign a player with an amount of 60 million pounds in with Tariq Judge going in. We can offer more money for a player, especially with Christopher Nkunku and Nicholas Jackson wages being removed. Once again, our coach wants an experienced number 10, Firmino, or an established player with a minimum of over 100 games senior experience at Chelsea. Are not disappointed in losing Simmons. So we never wanted him. We were never fully in for that deal. That's my how interpretation of how the whole thing panned out. Staff is saying,
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear if they
yeah,
were fully sold on him, they would have moved heaven and earth and hell to get him.
yeah.
They were too relaxed, which is a bit of a red flag, really. I don't think they were 100% convinced that he was a guy for us. I think they were looking at him as just a luxury, and when they found they couldn't, afford to use that luxury, for want of a better word,
Uh-huh.
they let it go.
And staff here is saying, 55 years also worked at Chelsea. Two transfers bugged me. Jackson and Tariq George reportedly told he isn't in our plans. Here's the thing: when, as much as you're asking me, you're skeptical of my interpretation of the situation or my perception of the situation. I am asking you, how do you know Tariq George was told he wasn't part of the plan? if you watch the interview where he and Josh Achampong were both interviewed, he says something that the fan base caught and knew immediately, yeah, he's gone. And whilst Josh Achampong gave an answer that suggests, yeah, he wants to stay. So listen, we can all speculate. Chances are you're right and I'm wrong. We don't know. I don't work for the club. If you work for the club, you don't work for the club now. And I'm quite sure, given when you left, you stopped working for the club, a lot have changed. You don't have connection there anymore. Stop, leave me alone. Go to church or wherever you say you want to go. Yeah, I think it probably, I'm not sure which it is. So yeah, this is a tough match to rotate. Moy, when don't even have Palmer. Lastly, he seems to be a machine. I think he'd do well. Okay, please go and get ready. I think we'll be rounding up soon. Tebeo, has he started already? I want him to start before we redirect it to his show. We still have 50 people watching and we have
Is he
just
doing
28
a watch
likes.
along?
Let's get it 30. Sorry?
Is he doing a watch along?
Yeah, he's going to watch along. Let's get it to 30 at least. I get it. It's difficult to get good enough likes whenever we're streaming in a vertical format, but we get a lot of views. Right now in the back end, we're seeing nearly 6,000 views. Probably gets to 6,000 by the time we round off. But let's see. Fair to say they tried to keep Jackson. Yeah. Yeah. It's really as simple as that. Red card custom. I think that's from a fan perspective. These things happen. But if you ask a Chelsea fans, they tell you, yeah, probably because of the red cards. I don't know. Possibly. So, your interpretation, Coach, it's
Let's
obviously
put it
always
this way: it didn't
the
help.
player's fault. Yeah, go ahead, Bobby.
Well, the cards didn't help him. Let's put it
It didn't
this way.
help. Yeah. Yeah. You can say, I would just go with the cards didn't help the fans' perception of the situation. Because you hardly ever hear a fan talk about his departure without mentioning the two red cards. So, which means you could argue that is to some extent drives fans' perception of the situation. But that's just my opinion. Not fair on Jackson. Will All right, I apologize. Femi Soladoye, my apologies. Okay. All right.
Has anyone seen if Garnacho and Buonanotte are at the stadium? Because they should be.
I haven't looked. I think we should be rounding up soon so that yeah, we can go get ready. I don't know, Dante, anything else you want to talk about? Or Victor?
Not much, Coach. Did Tobago mention, did he go through the Nicholas Jackson contract stuff, or didn't get a chance to
He
mention
shared
some
it.
of?
Can you go through it? We didn't go deeper. I think there's a lot more to it, what he shared. Do you have the information?
Yeah, I do. So there's a few more interesting
Aspect
what the
to it, right?
yeah, well, the directors added in that contract. Now, I can't be 100% certain. This is coming from Bayern Munich, from a lot of the German reporters there that have contacts in the club. So I can't be 100% this is true, but it looks like it is. But you can never be 100% sure. But basically, there's also, so when I said Jackson's probably not going to make much money because it's not a sale and he's not getting a bonus, well, they actually did give him a bonus. They gave him a sign-on fee, which helped to entice him come on a loan first. So they
What?
did give him some money. So he got a little incentive bonus as well. Another that's not, we don't, it just says single digits, so we're not sure how much that is exactly. It just says single digits. The
What
other one,
just says single digits? Where are you getting this from?
it's from a Bayern Munich, Bayern Munich source, a German source. It's called Bayern Space. It's one of their big accounts.
So go ahead.
The other one is there is a 7.5 million penalty fee if Bayern do not take up that clause. If they don't take up the buy clause at the end of the season, there is
Just
another
like the
7.
case of Sancho.
Yeah, no, yeah, it pretty much similar. If they don't take up the buy option on Nicholas Jackson, there is a 7.5 million clause as well that they get a penalty fee.
Euro or pounds?
So extra money, more extra money, if that happens, apparently. So plus covering the wages, like I said as well, on top of the loan fee and everything. So it could pretty much raise up to 20, nearly 23 million, 22.5 million, even if he doesn't sign for Bayern Munich.
Hmm.
So that is pretty
That's a
interesting.
lot of money.
That is a lot of money. It's a record fee. There hasn't been such a big loan fee ever. But
Yeah,
adding
I
that
heard
extra
that, but this
7.5,
is the first time I'm hearing what we believe is the details. Like you said, you don't
yeah.
know whether to believe it, right?
Look,
Um,
it's a big Bayern Munich account. You know, they have contacts in there. They've said a lot of stuff before. That's true. So
but even before that, 15 million euros for a loan.
yeah, well, they actually reported that before, and it was I didn't believe it, but that's where I read it first as well, and it came true. So yeah, because remember I said on the show, like it's usually 5 million, probably the most, maybe
Uh-huh.
something, but it's all true. So yeah, look, if we added another 7.5 million as a basically as a penalty fee if they don't sign him for that amount, well, that takes it up even a lot. Like I said, takes it up nearly to 23 million. So yeah, them that just makes they might actually probably will take that clause then, if not, because it depends how Jackson does, but that's obviously covered us a little bit more, just in case.
Yeah, it sounds believable. More importantly, because yeah, we're not known under our current ownership. We're not known to undersell.
No, no, especially these directors, they're extremely
Yeah,
good at business. They're
yeah,
like
because
I've
yeah,
never
I
seen
think it
anything
makes
like it.
it's very very believable.
Yeah. Well, look, like I
Which is
said,
because we never wanted to let him go out on loan. So for such you could say penalty clause and how much the player makes and how much we end up making if they send him back, I think yeah, it makes it believable that that was probably those factors were probably the reason why we agreed to let him go on a dry, not a dry loan, because yeah, that's an option
and
for a permanent purchase in
yeah,
the first place. Yeah, it
and
does make sense though.
one more
Yeah,
thing as well. There's another apparently. There's also performance add-ons. Depends how he does as well.
yeah. I did see that one too.
So there's also
That's
performance
unique.
add-ons. If he does well while on loan, well, we get even more money.
That's honestly that's unique for a loan.
Yeah,
You could
that
say
is
the same
very
thing
unique.
with the one we signed with Brighton. That yeah, because I think the reason we pushed for that clause was because we don't want to develop the player for them and not you could say benefiting anyway.
Yeah, so basically, loan fee, performance add-ons, then the signing fee, obviously, which you get the full salary that's covered, and then the penalty clause. That really pushes Bayern in a bit of a corner, basically, to actually really do buy him at the end of the season. Because if not, they will lose
As long as
quite a
he
bit.
does well.
Yeah, as long as he does, even not well, he has to do good. He has to do really pretty good, you know. And I think he will do that at Bayern Munich. If he's done it in the Premier League, well, he will do that in my personal opinion, he will do that in the German league as well.
All right, just one more like to get to 30. Let's see if that happens. Bobby, you have anything else to say before we call it a day?
Yeah,
All right, how
no,
about
no, no. It's
yeah,
all good. It's all
okay.
good. There are things that maybe you've covered earlier, the Ferran Lopez issue and the like.
Yeah,
But
it looks like it could still happen.
yeah,
But let's
Bobby,
see.
did you think Reece James is not playing because of the international games as well?
I do. I do. As I said so emphatically that for us, fitness is key this season, and I'm so glad he's not flogging him. He's got Gusto. Gusto's been doing really well and improving every game. Gusto is a very, very reliable understudy, and we have to rotate these guys. I'm even wanting him to rotate Caicedo a bit more, as I said earlier, but I don't want to repeat myself.
You could say
Yeah, yeah.
also for this game in particular, probably down to the pace from Fulham on that right hand side. Their
Yeah,
left hand
exactly.
side and our right hand side. More
Correct.
importantly, the reason Gusto is starting probably to deal with that pace. But as the game winds down, we'll still see James.
Oh, he'll come on most likely.
Yeah, he
Yes,
will
he'll
come on.
definitely come
Yeah.
on. Depending
So
either
yeah.
way, he'll come on.
Yep. So Victor, if you have time, please. Tavejo starts. He starts. Watch along. So I'll be in the kitchen preparing breakfast for my boys while I follow the game. If I finish on time, I'll join. So I want to say a thank you to Majos Trend TV. Thank you to Victor for joining. Thank you to Constantine Dunn too. And then thank you to our senior panelists. I feel much better today, and I'm happy. And we'll do a post-game show. We use mainly the panelists, the senior panelists will be here, but we'll be integrating, giving the opportunities to those in the transit group to see how they do and see who would select to be on our main panelist list. Thank you to staff. Thank you to Mr. Femi there for joining. Who else was here? Thank you to Rich Harmony Makers. And all Wally Waldo was also here. If I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all. And cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed